I didn't really understand that, and I admit I was wrong. I've admitted I was wrong, and I wouldn't say sorry if I wasn't wrong.
Tell me about the moment that you realized that these photos were everywhere.
I was shocked. I was in disbelief. Someone called me. I was sleeping in the morning.
What did they say?
Says, have you checked the internet yet? You should go check the internet. I go, man, I'm just sleeping. Please, you really need to go to this website and look at it right now. I looked at the website and I don't even know how to put it in words. I don't even know how to put that feeling in words. It was like everything just got sucked out of me, and I was like looking, and I was like, wow, this is so, where, what, when, how, confusion, like what to do, oh my God, my family, oh my God, my girlfriend, oh my God, my career, oh my God, the girls, oh, the press is gonna have a field day. I have to fix this problem as soon as possible. That was the first day where 2 or 3 photos were out only. So imagine by the 800th photo how I was feeling. It was a nightmare that never ended. It never ended. I would go to bed and I would pray. I would pray, please, please God, today, please be the last day. I pray I'll do anything, anything, please, today. I'm not the person to ever commit suicide, though. So I've never been there. I think that committing suicide is giving up on not only yourself, but the people that love you. And at that moment, I had so many people caring for me that that was never an option. Never.
Cecilia Cheung, one of 7 women seen in Edison Chen's explicit photographs. Nearly a year after images of the actress appeared on the internet, she did this interview in Hong Kong.
1 year ago, just after the incident, he held a press conference and said he'd do everything he could to protect the women. He did nothing. I can only describe him in a few words: a hypocrite, a fraud.
The women in Chen's photographs were shamed, in some cases their relationships and their careers left in tatters. In Asia, where attitudes about sex and nudity are more conservative than in many Western countries, the impact was explosive. In the United States, female stars involved in sex scandals can see their careers recover. In Hong Kong, previously squeaky clean images tarnished. Singer Gillian Chung apologized to fans during the scandal. She's now attempting a return to the limelight.
I know I have to face the problem, and I have a long road to go.
Cecilia Cheung accused you of being a hypocrite and a fraud. She said that you turned your phone off and that you ignored her while this whole thing was going on. What would you say to her now if you had the chance?
I don't really want to have a back and forth with her, which is why I didn't really comment on what she had said before. I hope that she can understand that, I really do feel sorry. I really am sorry to her. I'm sorry to everyone involved. But, at a certain time and a certain point in everyone's life, you get caught up in things. And I was just caught up in the whole mix. I was at the center of the storm. What she wants to say, I'll let her say it, because in a certain sense, some of the responsibility is in my hands. And maybe in her world, I'm the only one who was wrong.
When was the last time that you spoke to any of them?
I can't recall. Not
before
recently.
The scandal?
Definitely before the scandal.
You haven't spoken to any of them since?
No.
Because you couldn't find them, or because you didn't want to?
Initially it was because I couldn't find them. Secondly was because I didn't really know how to approach and really what to say, to be honest with you. I would have liked to call them and say sorry, but at the same time, I hope that when the trial was over and they would actually know that I didn't do this on purpose. That's why I waited for that trial to end forever. It was like a calendar mark that had no day, And if I can see them, I don't I don't like speaking on the phone. I feel it loses a lot of the integrity and of the emotion. And I think that, like, it's like some people say, you know, like, you break up over the phone is one of the worst things, right? And I feel like if I apologize over the phone, it might not seem sincere and it might not seem real.
Well, careers are in shreds and engagements being broken. Some would say even lives have been ruined. If any of the women were to come to you and say, listen, I want to talk about this, you know, I want to just, you know, get this all straight, would you be open to that?
Definitely. If we're going to sit down as two adults and really suss it out, I'm open. I'm open to it. But judging from the way that they've done their interviews, I don't think that, you know, they have every right to be angry. I don't want this to come across as I'm saying something about them, but I don't think that they can sit down and have a constructional conversation with me quite yet.
Do you think this time in your life will always stay with you?
Even if I didn't want it to, it would. I've tried to move on with my life, and I think that, you know, it's kind of like forgive and not forget, but it's like I want to forget too, because I've had to forgive myself. I mean, you know, the person I was angry at most was myself. You know, I was most unhappy with myself. I had to learn to deal with myself. I had to go home and look at myself in the mirror and see what kind of man I am. And you know, I come to learn to come to terms with myself. I feel more comfortable as the Edison now than I was the Edison before, and I don't know how that makes people feel, but you know, I'm just being real and I'm just being honest. And
Edison, it really can't have been easy for you to talk so openly about this, so I do thank you very much indeed for sitting down with us today.